Good afternoon, everyone. Say hi to Fritz. Fritz is over and on a shorter leash than everybody else. Though that's not his own fault, it's Gwen's fault. And he does not like the gentle leader. But, well, what's up, Chester? I know. Who am I talking to? I'm just like speaking into the ether. It makes no sense. So we've got Chester and Hank and Dottie and Fritz. And, we're doing what we can out here. Sorry, Glenn. Looks like Fritz isn't going to be in the video super much. Well, maybe. I'll go back and forth. But we're walking along the Mystic here. We're in the Mystic River Valley. Not too far from my house, actually. We did a big loop and then ended up back here. I think Hank is very confused. He's usually off-leash and swimming in this area when we come down here in the spring and the summer and the fall. So he's very much like, what the fuck? Why am I on leash right now? This is bullshit. But it's okay. And I kind of like, whoop, good girl. I kind of taught, not taught, I helped Hank get better at swimming, basically right here. And he was a fool when I first started dating Anna. Hank was he was like 8 months or something like that, maybe 7 months old, and he was moronic about swimming, and we figured it out together. Dottie, if you come around my other side, you'll get all of your leash. There you go. And now you can go be weird about those geese. I know, Fritz is like, holy fuck, I want to kill those things. Oh my god, all 4 of them. I know, guys. I did see a bunch of geese majestically fly off the other day, and I mean, I'm just kind of like always blown away by how beautiful birds are, because these things are stupid. Like, look at that. I'm sorry. That's just silly. That's just silly. Man, when they fly, it is something else. But anyway, Anna and I took a little date this afternoon from 11:01, and we went to the Boston Public Library. And what's over there, Chester? Oh, is it a squirrel? Broken brain. And they do tea, which they do like a high English tea, which I've never been to before. I'm a huge tea fan. This is something that like Anna and I have been trying to plan for a couple of months, because every time we look, the BPL's reservation list is like booked out for 6 weeks, and they only open it for like X amount of time. So it took like a year for us to remember and find a reservation that worked for us. So we went and did that, and it was really lovely. I have a lot of thoughts about it. And yes, you guys are lucky because you get to hear them. And they're not finalized thoughts. Oh, but this is like the reservoir end of the river, if you guys have never been up over here before. Also a nice swimming area. I actually swim in here with Hank in the summer. And like people all through here, like this wooded area, people like have like barbecues and stuff. It's pretty nice. Although I did notice that they get convicts to clean up this area. I noticed this past summer, and not really thrilled about that. But it's hard to change the prison structure all by yourself. So anyway, high tea. So, it's like a classic like English style tea. So they had maybe like a dozen or so teas that were like worth drinking, maybe. Not even. They had like 6 teas worth drinking, and like maybe like 8 or so that I was like, ugh, who is drinking any of this crap? Yep, there it is, guys. We're not going over there because I don't feel like cleaning you, Chester. You've had a rinse today already. Come on, guys. And so we I got a white tea, which is known as the type of leaf that I was familiar with. It's Ben Moi Shui, and it comes from like southern China, and I was really excited about it because I hadn't had it in a number of years, and it's like a very delicate leaf with very, very beautiful flavors. Just kind of like hints, like a hint of jasmine, a hint of like hibiscus, and it is just like, it's just so lovely. You kind of get like a cantaloupe aftertaste, like on the back of your tongue. It's like very sweet, very lovely, but not like overpoweringly sweet, like like tea sweet, I suppose. And I was fucking stoked. And then, oh my god, guys, they dumped boiling water on the leaves. Can you believe it? If you're not a tea person, you do not steep white tea leaves at 212 degrees. You steep them at like 150 degrees. So they burn them. You can taste kind of like a charred kind of like aftertaste with each sip. Incredibly disappointing. So that sucked. And I got an Earl Grey classic. And they did a great job with the Earl Grey. I mean, that just gets boiling water dumped on top of it. Another thing I didn't like was that they just steep the leaves in a pot without a like vessel to take. Come here, guys. To take the to take the leaves out after it's done steeping. Like, white tea only needs to steep for like a minute and a half. And then you could re-steep it for like another like minute and a half. And you can get 2 pots, and then you can re-steep it again if you want to, and have a 3rd teapot. And same thing with the Earl Grey. But Earl Grey, like 4 to 5 minutes. And but they just left the tea leaves in the pot, so it was just sitting there for an hour steeping. So I was sitting there drinking my tea as fast as fucking possible, so it didn't get astringent. Because that's what happens when you just like leave tea leaves in boiling water. They just get undrinkable and bitter, and the tannins like really come forward, and it's foul and undrinkable. And then by the time I got to my last glass, it was just so bitter, and I'm so thankful we were on the sweets at that point, because at least the sweets like worked with the bitter a little bit. But my goodness, what a miss on their part. So I can only assume that they just dump boiling water all over all different kinds of tea, like troglodytes, and it's just, I'm not sure if I would go. It's not that I'm not sure. I wouldn't go back to the BPL for high tea. If you're not a tea person and it doesn't really bother you that much, maybe it's good. I could see it being good, like especially if you get like an Earl Grey, or they had like a gunpowder Assam, which was nice. They have like jasmine pearls, which would be good if they didn't like just let them rot in the bottom of boiling tea, because that's another one that needs to be steeped at like 165 degrees, 167 degrees. So yeah, interesting. All the food was good. The cucumber sandwich was really nice. Great flavor. Fresh dill, could tell. They had a smoked salmon with capers and cream cheese on like a very thin slice of rye. It was phenomenal. All their sweets were nice. They had a little chocolate cake, and they had not a strudel. What the hell is a cookie with an S? I always want to call it a strudel, and then I can't remember, and now I feel like an idiot. But it was like a chocolate filled sandwich cookie. Streusel? Is that a word? I mean, it's a word, I said it. But I don't know, it was good. And then they had scones to finish with like a lemon curd and a raspberry jam, and what they called fresh whipped butter that was hard as a rock. So not fresh, not whipped. I mean, maybe whipped, but definitely not fresh. So it was interesting. It was like hit or miss. Definitely fun. And I know other places do tea, like a classic English style tea, around the city. So I am going to try to do others, and we'll see how they are. But man, just strangely disappointed. But man, this video is really long. I'm sure you guys don't care that much about tea. So all your dogs are great. So we got a dinner party coming up tonight. Glenn's coming over. Got Tian and Amy coming over, and their dog Elle. And my friend Kevin is coming over, and we're gonna have a ball. So I'll leave you there. Enjoy your day. Sorry this is so long, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.